Yo, man, I know you got a man and all, but I've been watching y'all, and if you ain't happy, I know this ain't treating you right. Now I'm not trying to get between y'all, but if you gonna move this way.
I'm moving on. Oh, oh, I'll be moving on. Wait, I gotta do my part. I'm so confused. I don't know what to do.
It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right.
But I gotta be a woman. I gotta get over you.
Keep your head up. Keep your head up.
I think I saw your baby mother
Wait, who baby mama?
creeping at your back door.
That must be my neighbor. I ain't got one.
And your light has been cheating.
No, I haven't.
And I can't take it no more.
Okay, you gotta stop now. No.
I'll be moving on. Oh.
You play too much. You got into the song way too.
I'll be moving on.
No, you won't.
Oh.
Yo, she's silly. Yo, y'all. It's your boy Marquis.
And this is your one and only, your favorite Taylor.
Welcome back to the You Stuck With Me podcast, y'all.
You stuck with me.
Babe, obviously you're in a good mood, but I'm gonna ask anyway, how you feel today?
I'll be moving on. Whose drawers are these?
Yours.
I wear a size 4.
Not with all that booty.
I'm done. How are you?
I'm good. I'm great. We made it through another week, so I'm good.
I'm sorry, your Silk the Shocker impression was funny.
I'm a no limit. No, I'm playing.
I'm a low liver soldier, and and they keep about it.
But yeah, Steve over here, he just laughing. He busting up over here. So, perfect. So in this episode, y'all, we're talking about moving on and not moving. It's just
This laugh is disrespectful. What is going on?
That's Steve.
Press the button. Press the button again. It turns off.
So
Is there too much going on right now?
So in this episode, y'all, we're talking about moving on from circumstances in your life that do not benefit you anymore.
Either gotta go, you gotta leave, but please don't make it hard for me. I'm giving up. I'm tired of love. I gotta let it go.
I think there's one word that you should replace in that, but you would pretty much spot on. I'm
just singing a song.
I was gonna say I'm tired of work.
Okay, I'm tired of wait, I gotta go. I gotta leave. So please don't make it hard for me. I'm giving up. I'm tired of your foolishness. It's time to let it go.
Yep. So, like I said, in this episode, we're talking about things, moving on from certain aspects of your life that don't benefit you anymore. Mm-hmm. And not only just moving on, but knowing when to move on.
And knowing how to move on within your own accord without someone forcing you out.
Yeah, and doing it with class and doing it with grace.
Yeah. So
we have a situation, actually situations in our lives where we're like, okay, this doesn't benefit us anymore. So for me, I'm gonna start with me, if you don't mind, babe. Okay, so
I ain't gonna stop you.
Okay, so you guys know for the last few years I was doing Uber as part-time just to make some side money, make sure we're good. So we sat down a while ago and we were doing bills and we were like just going, prepping for tax season is coming up. And we're looking at stuff and we're like, and I just had this epiphany and I'm like, babe, Uber isn't benefiting us like it used to. We need to come up with different sources of income. And she agreed with me. So just knowing that we're done with driving Uber as not just me, but us as a couple, I think it benefits us because when we look at of course, everybody wants to keep more money in their pocket. But when we broke down everything that we were making and what it was doing with our taxes because we were constantly owing. So we were like, okay, you know what, we're gonna have to do something different so we wouldn't have to owe as much, if anything at all. And just, that's just one aspect of, our lives that we were just like, okay, it's time to move on, trying to do something different. And another thing is, with me, I've been working on this real estate appraisal courses, and, I've been working on it for way too long, actually. And, I'm at this point in my life now where I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm tired of taking these courses, even though I'm going to have to take some, every now and then periodically in the future. I don't want to just spend my entire time working, and then I got to turn around and do coursework, and then this and that. Sometimes you just got to let your mind and your body rest. So
got you working day and night. Got you working day and night. Working
Yeah.
day and night.
And it's a lot. And I know that you and my parents been trying to, they'll tell me, you guys will tell me when I'm doing too much. This time I'll admit, way too much is going on.
I tell you in a nice way. Your parents be the one to tell you to sit your ass down, because that's how old school parents work.
That's mainly my mom. My dad's like, go ahead and do what you're gonna do. But it's funny because
you ain't lying, because your mama started telling me that. I'm like, hey.
Yeah. I mean, like, my dad was like, when he really paid attention to the stuff I do, like, Marquis really doesn't sit down.
Nope.
I'm guilty of it. I don't know how to really sit down, but more, I think it's a thing that just runs in my family. Like, we just don't let grass grow under our feet.
The first step is admitting that you have a problem. I'm glad we made it to this point.
Yeah, my wife is so silly. But she's not wrong though.
So I thought you was gonna have to put you in WA.
Workers Anonymous. Is that really a thing?
It was gonna be a thing. I was gonna make it into a thing.
I mean, I'm gonna say you got Alcoholic Anonymous, Narcotic Anonymous, so interesting.
I was gonna create it.
There's an idea.
I hear Steve over here typing.
Yep.
If you find out this is a real thing. Okay.
First of all, hi Steve.
Hi Steve.
Hey, it's not real, unfortunately.
Oh, it's not real yet, because I didn't make it real. We gonna make it to a thing.
Hey,
there's Workaholics Anonymous.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't look over here.
I just gotta say, if the shoe fits.
Don't be looking down at me, yo.
I can't never look down on you. I gotta look up.
Doesn't everybody? No, but seriously, just learning when it's time to move on from certain situations, and even certain people, because there's nothing wrong with cutting somebody off.
Please say that again for the people in the back.
It's nothing wrong with walking away from certain situations that don't benefit you, even as hurting people. Walk away from
them. Before you walk out of my life, I'm tired of you causing me pain. Let me stop.
Oh, I forgot about that song. I completely.
Let me stop.
No, but you on the road though. You on the road.
Let me stop. Go ahead.
But babe, let me ask you this: Are there any aspects of your life personally that you feel that it's time to walk away from?
It is one I'm working on right now, but I cannot say.
You just know it's time to go?
It's been time to go.
Well, I
can't tell y'all just yet because it's in the works.
But I think by the time this episode comes out, it will already have happened. Yeah, it would have. No? Okay.
When I make that announcement, I think I'm gonna make it as a Instagram live or something.
Okay.
Oh, I might talk about the live show. Wink, wink.
Ooh, story time.
Yep.
Ooh, that's gonna be a nice story.
But no, I do have an example though. It was one time that I knew I had to leave. I'll use the example of when, let's say, what is it, 2025? So it'd be almost 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I was working this job, And I had been with this company for a very, very long time.
We're not gonna say this company.
We're not going to say the company name, and we're not going to say how long that I worked there.
They're not gonna
because
get any free publicity off of us.
and they're not going to get any free publicity. And I don't want some of y'all nosy people, because y'all know, I know some people that are like me. If I want to know information, I find information faster than the FBI. So I'm not going to give any identifying characters. But anyway, I worked at this place for a very long time. And I had transferred out to a different department of this facility, and the higher up was giving me a hard time, a very hard time. I may have mentioned this before in the podcast, I don't know, but anyway, it got to a point that my health was very involved. It was actually a life-threatening situation. It was a life-threatening situation. I mean, I might as well go ahead and say it now. I had a blood clot. And I always say this: if it wasn't for Marquis being the protective fiance that he was, and because I don't like going to hospitals, I don't like, it's not that I'm afraid of them, I just don't like sitting in lines and all that stuff. I just don't. And I feel like, you know, they overcharge you to do, some places they overcharge you to do nothing, but that's neither here nor there. I refused to go. I was like, babe, I don't want to go. He was like, look, I'm dragging your ass to this emergency room first thing Monday morning.
In typical Marquis
fashion. Don't let him fool you. He nice and, you know, I love my wife. Oh, she's the queen and all that. No. When I don't comply, that's when the African-American Marquis, I would say that. The Negro, there we go. The Negro Marquis, the one I say I can't stand his black behind, Marquis comes out. So he dragged me to the ER, and it was discovered that I had a blood clot, and the doctor said if we didn't make it when we did, it could have moved closer to, what was it, my lung?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, close to my lung, because the way it was at now, it was already spreading. So I'm like, no, I can't have a blood clot. I was a mess. So, of course, having now, I'm not going to say a health crisis. It wasn't a crisis.
No, that could have definitely been a crisis.
Well.
Please don't sugarcoat it.
Okay, well, I was going to say a crisis because it was caught in time. But since you put it that way, having a health crisis and working a full-time job sometimes is just too much. It's just too much. So I'm over here scheduling appointments, because now at this point I gotta have like 50 million doctor's appointments, because we gotta catch this. We gotta get you on medication right now. So I talked to my boss about it, and she was like, you putting in too many requests. And it got to a point, I don't even know how we got here. She was like, oh, I would hate to tell you to come back early from your wedding.
And we looked at each other like,
I called Marquis right up. I said, babe, I can't take you here no more. I can't. And then in true husband fashion, he was like, why are you still there? And I'm like, what you mean? I said, we still need to pay for that. He was like, no, we don't. We don't. The wedding's paid for. We got the
honeymoon
was paid for. We got a plan for the bills and stuff like that. What are you still there for, dog?
Yeah.
To save you the stress and just quit. Just quit. So now I'm trying to figure out when I'm gonna quit, because now, you know, I said, okay, I need to make sure I get meds first before I do this. I got to get this under control. He was like, okay, but you got to leave soon, because I'll be damned if this job kill you. He did say that. So, make a long story short, God gave me a date, and I quit on that date. And I want to say, couple weeks later, the blood clot was disappearing. Because I was like, I need to get rid of this blood clot before I go on my bachelorette trip. Because, you know, if you're not familiar with having blood clots and medication, you can't eat certain things. Depending on the medication that you're on, the blood thinner that you're on, you can't eat certain foods. Like back in the day, I forget what blood thinner it was. You couldn't eat greens, leafy greens or anything like that. Or anything with, I think it's called cumin. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Yeah, that word right there.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Hey, y'all.
And you just can't eat certain stuff. Of course, you can't drink alcohol. And I'm like, ain't nobody finna tell me I can't drink no alcohol on my bachelorette trip. I wanted some hand grenades and I was gonna get them. So I'm working out. I'm doing what the doctors tell me, what the medication told me, and Lord behold, I was clear to drink and eat whatever I want. Yeah.
How do you feel about when you think about that story? How does it make you feel?
I'm not gonna lie to you. It makes me think of a lot of things. First of all, it makes me grateful that you basically drugged me kicking and screaming to the ER.
Mm-hmm. Because if anybody knows about not going to the ER and something happening, it will be me.
I'm like, dang, Marquis really damn near saved my life. Well, he did save my life. He saved my life. I'm grateful for that, and it makes me more cautious of my stress levels because I'm not saying that stress caused the blood clot, but that was like the icing on the cake. Mm-hmm. I know what was the cause of, but we ain't gonna talk about that right now. But just handling that, and then also, my knee was swollen. Mm-hmm. Like my whole left knee was swollen. And just trying to navigate doing basic stuff while working at a job I was unhappy at. I felt like I was stuck. I couldn't move anywhere, no growth.
I remember you saying that. And there was something else going on during that time that you told me about one of your coworkers. And to this day, I still think about it every now and then because it was actually a good thing that this person did it. I remember one day you came home from work and you were telling me that somebody had quit and they just did it without a plan, just took a leap of faith.
A leap of faith. So, yeah. I had this one coworker. She was like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm just going to get up out of here. I'm going to do what makes me happy. Matter of fact, I had I had like 1 or 2 coworkers now that just did it recently. Mm-hmm. And they was like, I don't have no backup job. I don't have anything. I just know that I need to get out. And the goal is going to be finding another job, whatever the case may be.
So let's unpack that real quick because these coworkers that you had, they were jumping out, taking a leap of faith. Let's talk about a leap of faith real quick because when you really get into a situation where you're very desperate and you don't want to do what you've been doing anymore, mm-hmm. and you're just sick and tired of everything, that desperation may always it will get you to do things that you never did before, and I'm talking about in a good way. So, and it's also, remember the term leap of faith. You got to have faith in wherever you leap, God's gonna catch you. So you see that, and matter of fact, to take the story a little bit further, I think one of the coworkers you had who quit, they ended up getting a job at I want to say at a bank, and they were making more money.
I don't remember all that, but I remember some of the coworkers that I talked to that's taking the leap of faith, and it made me question myself a little bit, like what's stopping me, because these are coworkers that have kids. Mm-hmm. Right? They raising kids on their own. They be like, I'm just gonna take a leap of faith. Me, I don't have any real responsibilities. I mean, yeah, I had you, but we were engaged. Mm-hmm. We were still like kind of dating and stuff too, mm-hmm. right? So it's like, and what's stopping me?
And I will ask you those same questions, but you can never really give me a concise answer. And I'm like, well, babe, I mean, you see what they're doing to you, just quit. That's all we would go.
Okay, no, I did have an answer for you. I said I didn't want to be a financial burden to you. Oh yeah, and we still, yeah. Fresh in this relationship. Well, I mean, we ain't fresh now. I think it was around the time we were talking about getting married and stuff like that. Excuse me. And I'm like, I didn't want to be a financial burden to you, because that's a lot. Like for a while, I'm gonna have to be relying on you. And also at the same time too, I'm gonna admit I was scared because I never really relied on another person outside of like my parents like that.
Well, and let's backtrack a little bit, because there are potentially some couples out there who are going through the same thing that we went through. So I'm gonna give you an analogy, and we've seen this happen. We've seen this happen on TV or in the news before. Let's say that you're in a burning building. You either got two choices. You gonna stay in there and burn up, or you gonna hop out the window and let somebody catch you.
I'm gonna hop out the window.
Right. So with me being there with you, and of course leaning on God, you could have taken that leap. I think that's all I was trying to say to you. It's like, okay, you gonna leap, that's fine, I got you. And I know that at the time you were really hung up on not being a financial burden, but when it comes to a relationship, whether especially if you're in a real committed, serious relationship, you can't be afraid to leap sometimes and rely on your significant other, whether you're married or not. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I get it now, and I receive it now in a different perspective. But again, I guess, and that's one of the things that I was working on in therapy. I always had this thing, like, I didn't want to be a burden to anybody, and that's what I was saying before. I think that was part of my upbringing of learning how to be a strong Black woman, right? You don't want anybody to see you weak. You don't want anybody to see you cry. You don't want anybody knowing that you slacking, because it's an opportunity for them to be taken advantage of. Not saying that I thought that with you, but it's like, it was like a really bad habit. You get what I'm saying? What they say, it takes like 21 days
to break a habit.
Okay, and then also on top of that, you just now getting better recovering, and you starting to working and stuff like that. And I just didn't want to throw this on you, like, okay, you're gonna have to support me for a little bit.
Well, to break down that part really fast. So during the first part of my recovery, we've had this conversation. This is part of, as our relationship matured and grew. So we can speak on this and look back at it with a different lens. So at the time, you were really big on not trying to be a financial burden, which I understood, and I thought that was fine. I felt like it was my time at that time to be the one to step up and, you could lean on me with the finances for a little bit, because you did the same thing for me. So that's when, like I said, that was my time. At least I felt that I'm like, okay, she's going through some things. Let me step up so she can lean on me. And that's what we always, at the time we were learning with the, premarital counseling, things like that. That's going to be sometimes where you don't have it, but I do. Sometimes I don't have it, but you do. And that's one of those situations where we were still learning it, but now that we understand it better, now we can go back and look at it like, okay, we could have did this better. We could have did that better. We should have did that, but we didn't. So, like I said, hindsight's 20/20, and that's what we were going through at the time. So now, going forward, we see the same thing. It's like, oh, we already know what to do. We already know how to maneuver.
And baby, I'd be quick to say, my man got 2 jobs. I'd be like, Rochelle, my man got 2 jobs. I don't need this. My man got 2 jobs.
I got 2 jobs, one for the house and one for the plane.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying, just to be funny, but it was
we can laugh at it now.
We can laugh at it now. But yeah, so that was my thing. So I would say that's one thing I learned about that. And then another thing is burnout. I learned during that time too, burnout is a real thing. And it's not just like a week thing, like, oh, I need a vacation. No, burnout can be an indication that you just might need to remove yourself from a situation.
Move on from the situation.
Move on.
And we're not just talking about situations, but you can also have to move on from people, like your past relationships, past friendships. They don't benefit you anymore. Do you feel like you're giving more than you're receiving? It's not mutual. It's time to move on.
Yeah. And I would say this too. There's 2 occasions I would say you will really learn if you need to let go of a friendship, relationship, or whatever ship. It's two events. One, you'll learn in a wedding, and the second one is at a funeral. Those are the 2 main things.
Yeah, and you also got to watch for signs that the people or the area, whether it be work or anything that is pertaining to you personally, is it something that doesn't benefit you? There are telltale signs that would tell you when it's time to move on. It's getting to that point.
Yeah, and I always say is, even like with jobs or anything, when things start to get crazy, that's an indication. Now, I'm not talking about crazy like, people jumping off roofs or anything like that. But when you have that feeling of you tired of making an uncomfortable situation comfortable, that's when you got to go.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. And to tailor it to to tailor it to like a job. My mom told me this, and I never forgot it. And I want to share this with our listeners. When a job starts taking care of you, it's time for you to stop taking care of the job.
And don't be afraid to use PTO and sick time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna end it with this. This reminds me of a reel that I've seen. Right.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, I don't know if he had enough PTO or he did or what. I don't know. He said, I'm using my PTO. Oh, we're short. That ain't got nothing to do with me. It's PTO. Prepare the others. I said, that's the type of energy I'm talking about right there. But all in all, cousins, we just saying, we're not telling you to just randomly do a leap of faith. We're not randomly tell you to quit your job. Mm-hmm. We're just saying that if you ever feel like I said, if you ever feel like you in an uncomfortable situation and you got to continuously try to make it comfortable and it's not working, just remove yourself. Yeah,
because whether it's work or whether it's relationships, sticking to the relationship aspect of it is going to hurt.
Yeah.
Because at one point, that relationship with that person was very beneficial, very special to you. And it's, when you're dealing with moving on from a person, it's like mourning a death.
Yeah, it's a death. It's a death of a relationship, mm-hmm. of a connection.
And more so than the fact that you realize that connection that was once there, you more than likely not going to get again. And because of that, you got to accept the fact, even though it may not feel good, it's time to move on.
I'm moving on. I'll be moving on. Whose drawers are these? You know I wear a size 4.
I'm just saying, you got a lot back there.
Anyway, on that note, Bae, what is your Black History fact?
Yes. So if you guys caught the tail end of the last episode, look, but because of her joke, I forgot my Black History.
I'm not even gonna make him laugh because I was really excited for it. But and Steve were excited for it.
But this is my Black History fact that I didn't bring up in the last episode. So Daniel Hale Williams, Dr. Daniel Hale Williams, was the first person to perform a successful open heart surgery.
Any relation?
You know what? That'd be nice to look up. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that because that'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, you should look that up. But I think that's cool in general.
Yeah. So on that note, beautiful, you want to tell the people where they can find us?
You can listen to us, this episode and previous episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or anywhere you stream your favorite shows. Also, you can reach out to us by email. Send us a sticky note question. Sticky notes are what we don't call them sticky notes no more. My bad. We call it Are You Stuck? So when you have a question that you always want to ask us, or you just want to say what up, you can send us an email. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, the app formerly known as Twitter, and TikTok. Babe, you want to drop the handles?
Yes, I do. So if you want to send us an email, you can just email us at youstuckwithme@gmail.com. That is USTUCKWITME@gmail.com. If you want to hit us up on Instagram, hit us up there at youstuckwithme_podcast. That is USTUCKWITME_podcast. I know I said that kind of fast, so I'm going to say it again. USTUCKWITME_podcast. You can go to Facebook, just type in You Stuck With Me, all one word, and you're going to find us there. You can go find videos and all the craziness that we get into. And you can find us also on YouTube. You can find our podcast there. I feel like I'm skipping one. Oh,
TikTok.
TikTok. Thank you, beautiful. You can find us on TikTok at You Stuck With Me _podcast, just like IG, USTCKWITME _podcast.
Did you say the app formerly known as Twitter?
I think that was personal, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that one.
Oh yeah. Sorry, y'all. I'm sleepy.
So
What's your personal handles, babe?
So you can find my personal handles at You Stuck With Me. Not You Stuck With Me. My _1. That is M1NE _1. That is on the app formerly known app formerly known as Twitter and IG. Babe, you want to tell people where they can find you?
Oh, excuse me.
World record yawn, y'all.
Shush.
She's almost there.
Shush.
Cheer on.
Shush. You can find me on Instagram and the app formerly known as Twitter under Queen Points. That is PO1NTZ. Again, that is Queen Points, PO1NTZ. And if you want some more of the behind the scenes footage, because you know Marquis is late to the TikTok game, but I've been on it since day one, you can find me on under Queen Points 22. Again, that is Queen Points 22. First, we want to thank y'all for blowing up the Instagram, blowing up the Facebook, hitting that subscribe button on YouTube, and sharing and subscribing. We appreciate y'all, but we got one more thing.
I thought that was appropriate.
Yes, we appreciate y'all, but we got one more thing to ask y'all. We need y'all to go on Eventbrite right now, and purchase your tickets to the You Stuck With Me live show on April 5th at One Direction Church. I mean, yeah, like seriously, we can't have a show without y'all. So you can grab your tickets right now on Eventbrite. You can type in the letter U, STUCKWITME exclamation point. No, the letter U,
Slow it down.
You can find it on Eventbrite under the letter U, STUCKWITME live exclamation point. Or you can scan the QR code on our flyers on our respective handles to give you direct link to purchase tickets. Tickets are $5.
Mm-hmm.
$5. Y'all know y'all can spend that on the dollar menu. Why not come and spend the day with us, full of karaoke, great discussion, games, merch, vendors, you name it, we got it. We got the greens, beans, tomatoes, chickens, lamb.
Please the root, big dog.
We got all that.
I know my position. I play it well.
Yes. High five, Williams. So we got all that for you. Just come kick it with us, April 5th at One Direction Church.
And make sure you come back and check out some of our podcast episodes, Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, make sure you rate, review, subscribe, and share.
I think that's it, big homie.
Think so?
Yep.
All right. Till next time, this is your boy Marquis.
This is your one and only your favorite Taylor.
We out, y'all.
Hey, you stuck. You stuck with us.
Make sure y'all come back, y'all. Tell your friends.
Come back.
Peace out, y'all.
Later.